Ah, you are awake. Good. That means the ritual was a success. You can still see and hear, but you no longer have a physical form, and you are now bound to this place. You can never leave. But fortunately for you, I am here to keep you company, and now I have someone to listen to my tales. Would you like for me to continue Zargo's tale? No? Too bad. Zargo and Vega had just obtained the hideout location of the gnomish man named Amari, and they were stepping out of the tavern into a very gloomy sky.
All right. Hello, friends and fellow adventurers. Welcome back to Rolling Solo RPG. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to be continuing our adventures with Zargo. This is going to be our session 4, and we are going to pick up right where we left off. So, at the end of last session, just a quick recap. I'm not going to go over everything that's happened, but our investigation has led us here to the Skull Tavern. And we just talked to the rat folk, Finch, behind the bar. She was willing to divulge a little bit of information about a man named Amari who has been doing some assassination contracts, or, well, talking about them, discussing them, in the bar here. And this has led to the assassination of some of her customers. So this is kind of digging into her pocket. So, with the price of 1 silver, she was willing to tell Zargo, our city guard, here the location. Well, she didn't tell him, she did write it down on a napkin and gave it to him. So now our heroes, Zargo and Vega, are standing in the bar. So from here, I think Zargo and Vega are going to walk out the door. And as they do so, we rolled for weather last time, so they're going to step out onto the covered porch. They notice the sky has grown a bit darker since they entered just a few moments ago. The clouds are rolling in quickly, and you can smell off in the distance the humid, wet dampness of the rain approaching. Zargo and Vega step outside. Now we're going to take ourselves to a little zoomed out view here. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, I would say the Skull Tavern is somewhere up in this general area, relatively close to the History Museum, which is where the item was originally stolen. Now, where is this location? I'm thinking, just without really rolling on anything, I'm thinking that this is going to be I think it's going to be like a ritzy hotel of sorts. So I'm thinking this guy, Amari, we know he is a gnome. We know he's been dealing quite a bit of contracts in the Skull Tavern. So I'm thinking he's got a little bit of money to burn. So he's going to be held up in a ritzy hotel. But let's ask the fate chart if that is the case. So, and with that, before we actually start our new scene, I need to roll. We're going to raise the chaos factor back up to 5. And we're going to make us a new scene, which I already have written out here. Cool. So we're going to investigate Amari's hideout. And the chaos factor is back at 5 now, so let me change that. Perfect. All right. So, and with starting a new scene, we have to roll to test the scene. Now, this is going to test to see whether the scene continues as expected, whether it is altered or interrupted. And our chaos factor is 5, and our D10 gives us a 3. Okay, so that is below our chaos factor, which means we're going to have an altered scene. All right. An altered scene. Now, I don't have to roll to see how it's going to be altered, but I am going to see how it is altered. And I would say it's going to be an action. It's not really a descriptor necessary. So, how is our scene going to be altered? So it's going to kind of continue how we think, but it's going to be different somehow. And that somehow is 27 decrease 78 decrease project. All right, so is this hideout, is Amari's hideout a hotel? A ritzy hotel? I'm going to give it a 50-50. So let's go back to our fate chart. So is Amari's hideout a fancy hotel? 50-50-81 out of the Chaos Factor 5 is a no, so it is not. So I'm thinking, so I'm not going to roll again, since it is not. I'm going to say it is somewhere in the sewers. So the location that was written down on the napkin. Now remember, Finch was really bad at hearing. She's an older rat folk, so her hearing is pretty bad. But what she mentioned when she gave us the location was that she could smell a stench on him. And the stench could only come from the sewers. So that is what she wrote. And the location that she gave us is the location of a manhole that should be, you know what? I don't think they would have manholes in a city like this. I think it would be like kind of like a ditch, a deep ditch that has like almost like a dungeon looking entrance to it. So that is the location she gave to us. Now, Zargo and Vega make their way here, and they descend down the stairs, and they're kind of standing outside the door, so they know what location they are looking at. So are they going to go ahead and go in? I think it is very unlikely that they're going to go straight inside and just start investigating right now. So I'm going to say very unlikely. Do they go ahead and start searching this place now? 64, that is a no. Okay, so they don't. They take note of where this location is at. And they are going to, however, check for any type of evidence. I think this is going to be a pretty simple DC. Alright, so taking a look down at the ground, and she kind of scans the walls next to the door to see just how frequently people have been coming and going through here. So it's going to be fairly simple. It's going to be a DC 15 survival check. Now, her survival is kind of bad, so 15, she's going to have to roll at least a 12 or higher, which is, less than a 50% chance. But Vega is also going to get a turn. I'm going to roll them both at the same time, just to save time. So, Vega and Zargo are searching just to get a sense of how frequently people come in here. If they roll high, maybe they'll get a little bit more information. Wow, they both failed terribly. So they know that, even just looking down at the mud and the muck, you can see people have come and gone in here, but they can't really discern anything of significance from just looking at this area. But while they are down here, is anybody watching them while they are down here? I'm going to say that is 50-50. Is anybody watching them while they're down here? 26 on a Chaos Factor 5, 50-50, that's a yes. Alright, so somebody is up top looking down at them, watching them. But I don't think they're going to notice. We're doing a lot of rolling. It's been a while since I've played, and I've been getting the itch to roll the dice. So, I'm going to say that this stealth DC is going to be, someone will have at least a +7, so it's going to be a 17 perception for them to even notice. Ooh, Vega notices, but Zargo does not. And I don't think she has a very good, I'm certain she doesn't have very good perception. Starting off, perception's not great. Yeah, she has a 5. Vega hit a 17, and she has a +7, so Vega takes notice. She's grabs Zargo's attention. Zargo, look, up there. Someone noticed us looking. They scurried away as soon as I looked up at them. Let's pursue them. Vega takes off quickly. Zargo kind of like is lagging behind in a little bit of like stunned state. So Vega darts off instantly. She runs up the stair. I'm thinking there's like a small staircase that like leads down into like the ditch type area. Vega books it up the staircase. Vega looks left, she looks right. She sees the figure she saw before. She starts chasing. Zargo behind. Zargo's just a little bit slower, but she's doing her best to try to keep up. Let's go into our first chase. Okay, so, alright, we can't quite see the whole thing. I will move that down, maybe? Either way, okay, we'll get to it when we get to it. So, we'll zoom in a little bit. We got Zargo and Vega over here. I'm really winging this chase here, but we got a chase in our midst. So, Vega took off up the stairs. Zargo quickly behind her. I'm just using an orc. It's not actually going to be an orc. Maybe it is. I don't know. But we don't know who it is. I just went ahead and grabbed a token. So we have an orc here that's going to represent the person that was watching them. Now, they have a bit of a lead. They have a 2-square lead. Now, each round, everybody's going to get a turn. And these red dashes here they're just going to go in a straight line. It's not actually a grid. It's just think of it like a little progress tracker. But they're going to go in the straight line here, and every time they encounter a square with the red dashes, that is going to be an obstacle that they have to overcome. And if the orc and or the person watching them makes it to the X, that means they escape. So if they get to that X before Vega and Zargo are able to catch up to them, then yep, they escape. I just said that. So let's try this out. I don't know how this is going to work. Maybe it'll fail. We will see. So I'm going to say that the orc gets to go first, and then we're just going to go in order how they are on here. So, all right, so first round, the orc comes barreling through, and up ahead is a crowd of pedestrians in the center of the road, and they're all crowded around the stalls at the market. But the orc needs to succeed at an acrobatics or an athletics check. I'm going to keep calling it an orc, even though it's not an orc. It's turned out like it might be. So, the fleeing person, let's give them... Should we do red or should we do... Yeah, we'll do red for enemies. This might not even be an enemy, I don't know. Either way. Athletics check for the fleeing person. Oh, that's a 6 plus 7 is going to be a 13, which is not going to be enough. So they're trying to get through the crowd, but they do not get any progress for this round. That means Vega and Zargo get to move one step closer this round on their turn. So the orc, once again, he's still fighting the crowd. I'll keep calling it an orc. The fleeing party is fighting this crowd once more. I'm going to lower the DC by 2 each round because, otherwise, okay. So it's a 13, a DC 13 this round. All right, the orc. I'm going to continue to call it an orc, I guess. We're just going to make it an orc. I'm thinking this person, though, has a hood up, so they can't tell whether it's male or female. So they are able to make their way through a shoulder through the crowd. They get at least into this zone for that round. But Vega and Zargo each get up on their turn. The orc, alright, just pushes through because there's nothing there. Like I say, this is not really... That's why chases are actually... use points to keep track of it, not just a progress tracker here. Alright, Zargo and Vega are able to make one more, the person moves up one more on their next turn, so it is back to Vega. So it is Vega's turn to attempt to get into this. Alright, so they'll get into that square, but whether they get out has to do with whether they succeed or not. So Vega has a very poor athletics, but I'm pretty sure her acrobatics is pretty decent. Oh yeah, +7 acrobatics. So it's a DC 15 for her first roll. DC 15 and a +7. Oh, easily. Oh, she just like somersaults over the whole crowd. She jukes one guy, jumps over, easily makes it through. So gets her to move into it. We'll say that. Zargo moves up 1 square on her turn. So she's just now getting to the edge of the crowd. The Orc Brute has to make it through the second obstacle, though. I'm just going to keep calling it Orc Brute because that's what it says right there. But the Orc's running through, and in front of him, a fruit cart is blocking the entire pathway. This is an older man. He's struggling to even push this cart, and it's stuck in the mud in the center of the street. But the Orc is late, and he's got to push through, so it's going to be a 13 athletics to vault over or smash through. I'm just reading what's in the GM core here. It's for quick simplicity. So, 13. Is the Orc able to do it? Ooh, a 6 plus a 7. Oh, it meets, it beats. So, this figure just kind of does a barrel roll through the center of the cart, knocking some of the fruit off onto the ground, and is able to make it into that square. So that means they succeeded, so they will be able to get through. Vega succeeded on her thing, so she's able to move through it now. It is Zargo's turn to see if she can push her way into this crowd and through it, and that is going to be a DC 15. I'm pretty sure that's going to be athletics for Zargo, her better score. Here, let's get rid of that. Make it a little more. There we go. Athletics +7. Yes. All right. Zargo, come on. Shoulder check your way through. Ooh, a 6 plus a 7 is a 13. That is going to be a fail. Zargo is unable to make her way through. This crowd is being tired of being pushed aside, apparently, by the other two. So that brings us back to the fleeing figure who made it through that, and they get to move up 1. Vega's turn. She gets to move up freely for this turn. Zargo's another attempt. Now we're dropping it down to a 13. Zargo, is she able to do it? Yes, she is. That's an 18 total. She moves into and through the crowd. We're back to the fleeing figure who's up to the third obstacle. The third obstacle, as they round the corner, 2 guard dogs sitting in front of a shop immediately start barking. Alright, it's going to be either a nature check to calm the dogs or a stealth check to try to, well, sneak past. Okay, so the dogs aren't barking yet, we'll say that. But this figure sees the dogs immediately and kind of stops in their track. They are going to attempt to kind of tiptoe past without setting these dogs off. Are they able to? A 10. That is only going to be a 12. They are not able to. These dogs start barking. Rah, 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 rah. They're unable to push their way into this square here. So Vega is up. Vega, however, has come up to the fruit cart. This old man is still struggling to try to get this cart out of the mud. He is failing. But an athletics check or an intimidation check to yell at the merchant and make him move. So her athletics is, we figured out, oh, +4, not bad. And intimidation 0. So she is also going to try to kind of tumble her way through this cart. Is she able to do so? 17, yes, she is. Easily, she does a swan dive through, not even touching a single piece of fruit. She kind of rolls on the ground, gets back on her feet, and continues running without even skipping a step. So she is able to enter. Oh, she's getting close to catching this guy. If he fails, or girl, if they fail this next check. All right, Zargo made it through. Boom. All right, so sneaking didn't work. This person is going to have to try to calm these dogs that they just alerted. It's going to be, they only get a +1. It's a DC 14. Are they able to? No, critical fail. These dogs start attacking this person. All right. And with that, Vega is right there on the tail. She's able to catch up to them. Right, so I'm gonna say how we're gonna still make Zargo get past this old guy with the cart, I think. But so this hooded figure has been tackled to the ground by these 2 dogs sitting outside this shop. Vega comes up. She is within just a 5-foot radius of what's going on, but she is not sure whether she should intervene because these dogs are vicious and they are currently tearing into this hooded figure. Zargo, however's turn. She gets to move up, and now we're going to make it back to the fleeing figure's turn. They are being attacked by dogs. What? I'm going to make them. Let's see. I'm thinking these dogs might just outright kill this creature, but how would I put that into a roll? When in doubt, fate charted out. I suppose that'll be my new saying. So, all right. Fate chart. We're gonna go to. I'm gonna say that it's 50-50. Have these dogs on this round already killed this person? We don't know who they are. 50-50. Have these dogs already bit a vital artery of this person? Ooh, a 20 on the dot. That's a yes. So this person is bleeding out quickly. All right, so the dogs are still tearing into this person. Vega is going to make a DC, 14, I believe. A DC 14 nature check to try to calm these dogs. I'm going to make it a 15, actually, because they are in fight mode right now, and they got blood on their mind. So I'm going to make it a DC 15 nature check, which for Vega, make sure we are on Vega. Nature is a 5. That's not too bad. All right, she's been rolling pretty high this game, but now that I say that, she's probably going to roll low. What is that? Ooh, a 9. What are my math skills? 9 plus 5 is a 14. Oh no! I bumped it up by 1, so she failed that. These dogs are unable to be calmed, and they are still tearing into the flesh of this poor unsuspecting victim. Zargo, on the other hand, the camera cuts to Zargo. She's running up in her heavy plate mail. She gets to this old man with a cart. He's pulling backwards. He's at a 45-degree angle trying to pull this cart out of the mud. But he is not able to. Zargo's kind of dancing back and forth, seeing which way she can try to go, but there's not room on either side. So what is she going to try to do? She's going to try to intimidate this old man, because I thought it would be funny to even try that. And none of the other two were even trained in intimidation. She only has a +4, but we're going to go with it. All right, so Zargo is going to try to intimidate this poor old man. Look, old man, get this cart out of the way. This is official guard duties. Get this cart, move it. So she is going to do an intimidation roll, +4, and she needs to beat, what is it? A 15. So 11 or higher. No, she's unable to. The old man's just like, oh, I'm trying. It's just stuck in the mud. That was Zargo's turn. I'm just gonna play it. I'm gonna wait till next turn. But anyway, Zargo's just gonna help this guy move the cart out of the way and just get him on his way so he can get out of this damn street. But we take us back to the. The fleeing person has died. We established that already with the dice roll. So they are completely done. Vega is going to try one more time to calm these animals. If not, I'm going to probably say the owner's going to come out and quell the situation, which they're going to be coming out quickly anyway. But we are going to still keep it, what was it, a 15? Yeah, 15 nature check for Vega to try to calm these dogs and get them out of the way so she can at least see what this person was. Maybe there will be something useful on them. All right, DC 15, 10 or higher. Okay, she is able to finally calm these dogs after they have torn this poor person to shreds. She's able to calm the dogs, and they kind of tuck their tails down a little bit. She gruffs up her voice. Dogs, get out of here. Go back to your owner. And kind of at the same time, the owner is peeking his head out of the door of the store. And he's snapping at the dogs. Get in here. What have you done? What's going on here? And Vega kind of dismisses. Go back inside. This is all taken care of. Keep your dogs in there too. So, we're going to end the chase there. Zargo kind of helps shoulder this fruit cart out of the out of the road, the old man gets to some solid ground and is able to slowly make off with his cart. Zargo, out of breath, kind of finally catches up to Vega. Vega, I was held up. I see you got him. Good job. But she quickly looks and realizes that this person is not moving and laying on the ground in a bloody pool. So now, they stand in the street. We need to... Alright, let's ask the fate chart. Did these dogs do such a gruesome job that there is no way to recognize this person? Okay, we'll just change the wording of that a little bit. Is this body, like, identifiable? I will say... We'll say it's 50-50. I know I say 50-50 a lot, but, you know, I mean, I'm never sure about anything. Is this body able to be identified? 50-50. 0-5, that's an extreme no. No, these dogs, like, ripped the face off of this person. They tore into the legs. They tore even they can't even tell if this was a male or female. That's how bad these dogs, they were big dogs. So they are unable to identify the person, but that doesn't stop Vega from kind of searching the clothing and the pockets. Is there anything okay, we can't identify the person, but is there anything of significance that Vega can find rummaging through pockets and maybe like some jewelry that this person was wearing? I'm going to say that it's likely. We need something to be happening here. So, is Vega able to... I'll keep rolling my metal dice. I mean, it is Vega doing the action, so I feel like I should roll Vega's dice. But, it's a fate question, so I'm just going to roll my metal dice. I know that doesn't really mean anything for you guys, but I'm trying to get some standards for how I do things, because all this is new to me. So, if you couldn't tell, right? So, again, does Vega find anything of use? It is likely. Chaos factor 5. 21, no! Man, it was likely, but that is a... Wait, that's a yes. Yes, she does. I'm thinking wrong. But yes, she is able to find something of use. But what is that thing of use? I'm going to say she finds an object. And what is this object that she finds? Let's roll on our tables. That is going to be a 29. Equipment. Okay, that kind of makes sense. 29 equipment. And 92. That's funny that they're reverse numbers. Unpleasant equipment. It's a piece of equipment. So it could be armor, kind of adorned with the symbol of a... Yeah, okay. So it's like a piece of leather armor they were wearing, but etched into the leather armor is the symbol for the god Lamashtu. Perfect. That makes sense. Now, Lamashtu is the mother of monsters. She is depicted as being like put together as multiple parts of monsters. So, all right, I'm going to write that down. Okay. Vega kind of looks over the body. She takes her sword and kind of uses it to pull apart the pieces of flesh and move them off to the side. And Zargo, look here. Do you recognize that symbol? Does Zargo recognize the symbol? Let's do an actual, I mean, it's not going to matter because she's going to explain it to her anyway, but, you know, we'll figure out something about Zargo. This story is about Zargo, and her religion is a 0. So, I'm going to make her roll. I'm going to make it a DC... We'll just make it a 13. Because it's one of the major deities, so... But she is untrained, so we'll at least make her work for it. 13. Ooh, a 3, no. Oh, no. Vega, that looks unfamiliar to me. I'm going to do my best to try to make Zargo seem a little more feminine. But no, Vega, it seems unfamiliar to me. Well, That is the symbol of Lamashtu, the mother of monsters. Whatever this person was up to, it is definitely of no good. Well, I reckon our efforts are going to stop here on this part of things, but we are definitely being watched, and if they are all as bad as what this possibly could be, we may be in for more than we are bargained for. Yes, I couldn't agree more. I have heard of Lamashtu, but I did not recognize the symbol right away, because, well, I mean, as you know, religion is banned here and in the great city of Promise, so things relating to religion are very foreign to me. That is understandable. Well, let us continue on our way then. I don't think there's any more we're going to figure out from here. So, with that, we're going to end that scene. We're going to end that scene, even though we improperly labeled that scene, investigate Amari's hideout, because we have not actually even investigated it. So, but we did go to the location, and we chased them, so I feel, were they in control of that? I don't think they were. They chased them down. I mean, Vega did catch up to this person, but only because the dogs chewed them in recognition. So I think that's a perfect place for us to stop this episode. Thank you, friends, for watching, and we're going to stop her there. Hopefully I will see you next time in our Session 5 video. Thank you, guys, and goodbye.